All right, so kicking off their journey to the 2024 general elections, ActionSA will officially launch their election campaign today. The party starts its campaign on the back of a moral victory after the North Gauteng High Court had ruled in their favour, saying load shedding was an unconstitutional result of government failures that infringes on the basic rights of South Africans. At that launch, SABC News Political Reporter Samkele Maseko. Good morning to Samkele. Thanks indeed for your time. Talk us through what some of the key points are likely to be from ActionSA as we see all these political parties kicking off their campaigns towards next year's election.
Well, Griselda, at this point in time, we are in Hammanskraal, the hometown and the township where Hammanskraal grew up, and this is essentially where they will be launching their elections campaign for the 2024 general elections. This is an area where they had that particular issue of those deaths due to the bad water quality that was being provided to the residents of Hammanskraal. This is where Hammanskraal is back to launch his campaign to say that South Africa has, over the past 30 years, in the rule of the governing African National Congress, derailed from serving the people of South Africa, serving the people of Gauteng. You saw him as the mayor of Johannesburg, but I'm going to bring in Mr. Samkele Maseko, who is the provincial leader of ActionSA in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Maseko, this is the essence of the launch of your campaign. You can see the residents of Hammanskraal here. They've had water issues. You've had your own issues of water in the eThekwini municipality. Just the infrastructure that is crumbling in municipalities. You are the caucus leader in the eThekwini municipality as well.
Yeah, firstly, let me say it's symbolic for us to be here in Hammanskraal, the home of the president. But unfortunately, we are facing a situation where residents are out of water throughout the country. We've received a report from Human Rights Commission not long ago detailing the challenges we are facing around water crisis in the country. And KwaZulu-Natal is also facing the similar challenges, especially where you've got 70% of population living in rural areas and they're still struggling to get access to sufficient water. That is what Human Rights Commission is talking about, the issue of aging infrastructure and also areas where there's no infrastructure at all. But what they are saying as well is the fact that government have failed to ensure that we build infrastructure that provide sufficient water to South Africans as per the constitution demands. But what is most problematic is that the water tankers are being abused by entrepreneurs, where you'll find that there's a breaking of infrastructure for those individuals who use tankers to make money. What Commission is recommending that municipalities must buy tankers for emergencies. It mustn't be a norm that residents are receiving water using tankers. Like when we drove here in Hammanskraal, we can see water tankers and people are moving around with baskets. That's not how you provide water. Human Rights Commission is saying we must build infrastructure. That is why ActionSA is saying when you get to power, the priority should be around infrastructure and basic rights of water must be looked at.
When you look at the court judgment on load shedding, saying that it is unconstitutional for there to be blackouts in the country, and you, as ActionSA, brought this particular case, and you look at the stage that South Africa is in, we're just recently in stage 6, now it's been dropped to stage 3. What is the way forward with this particular court judgment now saying that load shedding, the blackouts, are unconstitutional?
Yeah, firstly, we're happy with the court decision because it's what actually we're asking from court, to declare load shedding as unconstitutional, and we're happy that the court ruled in our favor as ActionSA. But the solution right now is that we must do away with this monopoly by Eskom. Eskom can't be a solution anymore. We need to make sure that we've got independent power producers and also allow municipalities to generate power for residents. But also, the right to life have been compromised. If you look at hospitals, where the people who are surviving on machines are always now dying because of load shedding. So at least now the government will not be forced to ensure that we protect lives of South Africans. We must make sure that there is backup power in all hospitals, in all clinics, as well as police stations.
But to answer that question, the government may just say that the Chinese have just donated backup power, which arrived at this particular week, where the Minister of Electricity, Dr. Sputla Ramokgopa, was there to receive those particular donations from the Chinese government, which President Xi Jinping of China gave to the incumbent president of the country.
Look, what we welcome such gesture from China, But we can't be a charity country. We don't need charity. We must stop corruption. We must fight against corruption because money has been stolen, which meant to deal with the crisis of electricity in our country. So all we need in our country is to make sure that corruption become enemy number one in our country. That's what ActionSA is championing. And then we must make sure that we generate enough power. We can't live on handouts because end of the day, when other countries are giving you these donations, nothing for free. There's something that they must gain in return. Because next thing, we find ourselves bound to return favors to these countries. And these generators are not going to sustain power throughout the country. Yes, they might have there and there, but we are saying we must make sure that as a country, we generate enough power for residents. We have developing areas all over the country. We must make sure that people are provided with sufficient energy. There is no need to wait for other countries to give us favors.
Mr. Mwango, you are part of the eThekwini Council. There's a proposal by the Democratic Alliance to dissolve that particular municipality in Joburg. You did not support the dissolution of the Johannesburg Council. How far are your engagements with DA on the dissolution of the eThekwini municipality?
Look, first of all, there are two motions. There is one moved by the IFP. That motion seeks to remove the mayor. So we support that motion by the IFP as well to remove the mayor because Kaunda failed eThekwini municipality. But as well as the DA's motion, we will support the motion of the DA, but the motion in current form, it's incompetent because that motion is not competent to be tabled for council. It's not in line with the rules. But at the same time, the DA is so arrogant in a way that they are not prepared to engage with other parties because if you dissolve the municipality, you require two-thirds majority and we engage the DA. The DA is saying they are not prepared to engage with the EFF. But EFF command the balance of power in that council. So definitely, even if you want to remove the mayor by 50+1, you need EFF. So how much more if you require two-thirds majority? So you can't say you are serious by dissolving the city if you are not prepared to engage the EFF. So we think the DA is just putting this motion as a publicity stance. They're just politicking. They're not serious about this. We are serious about this motion. That is why I offer the help. I'm prepared to help the DA to make sure that we rework their motion, it become competent and in line with the rule of order. Then all other parties will engage. We call the meeting with all parties. It's DA who didn't come for the meeting to discuss its own motion. That shows that they're not serious about what's happening. Our city is in trouble. If you look at the issue of sewer in eThekwini infrastructure, it's a problem. That is why we're in court. And I can say now that come next year, we must get a date in court where we're going to get the city to explain why they are failing to fix the infrastructure in our city. And I must also say, it's just disappointing that yesterday we heard about the release of the two illegal immigrants who stole property of the municipality and were found at the border of Mozambique. But our court granted them bail. Now the question is, how do we allow such a situation where someone is in the country illegally but also get a bail? That's a concern we are facing.
Mr. Mwango, but how do you expect the EFF to vote with you and the Democratic Alliance when the EFF is effectively in charge of the eThekwini municipality, knowing that they control the biggest budget, which is infrastructure?
Look, it is true, but the sense is this. The EFF, yes, might control the bigger portion of the budget currently. But bottom line is, the ANC is holding that budget. Right now, if you see, eThekwini municipality, ANC is so clever. They've given the entire 1.5 billion rand budget towards Umgeni Water to manage it. So basically, they're stripping power slowly away from the EFF. So EFF is just there to rubber stamp what the ANC want. So this is why we're saying there's an open space to engage with the EFF. Because the EFF, they can see even themselves, they're not taking it seriously. The ANC don't take EFF seriously at council. They can move whatever they want, and they don't care about the EFF. But also, I must say, the EFF is able to vote on issue to issue. We were able to put a motion for insourcing in the eThekwini municipality. The EFF, because we engaged with them, they were in support of our motion. That is why ActionSA's motion to insource security guard and cleaners passed by council, because as ActionSA, we are prepared to engage with all parties because there is no need actually to keep fighting each other. We might differ ideologically, but at least we agree that eThekwini is in a breach of crisis. We need to save our city, but also the province as a whole is falling apart. So we must make sure that we work together as opposition parties to really save our province, to really save our cities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mngong. That is Mr. Zwakele Mngong, who is the provincial leader of ActionSA in KwaZulu-Natal. As you can see, the residents of Hammanskraal, they are arriving, trickling in their numbers to listen to the manifesto launch of ActionSA here in Hammanskraal, in the hometown and the home township of Herman Mashaba, where he grew up, just a stone's throw away from here, Criselda.
Samkele, thank you very much indeed. You'll certainly bring us up to speed a bit later on in terms of the message that Herman Mashaba will have for the people of Hammanskraal. Thank you very much indeed for your time.